And we are back with a 4 of us episode of the Doing All Right Time Stack podcast. We're collaborating together to fuss a little bit. We're going to come here the day before the draft. I took a look at everybody's board. I took a look at some polarizing players. I just kind of want to see how my classmates, my siblings, I call them my draft siblings, how my draft siblings put their board together. Iisha Morrison from the Stack, Zach Wolchuk from the Stack, Bryan Broaddus from the Doing All Right, and I'm just Voch. What's up, y'all?
What's up?
We're here.
Y'all ready to fuss today?
Let's do it. I've missed you, man. This is gonna be fun.
I'm not fussing.
You about to fuss? I'm sorry that y'all had to pull up a little earlier for this than y'all normally do. Listen. I know y'all normally record around lunchtime, but thank y'all so much for waking up a little early, dealing with the morning traffic and the rain for tapping in with us. All right?
Yes, and my animals were confused.
Bless them.
What's going on? No beauty sleep?
Early.
Yeah.
The early hurts.
Yeah. Apologize. So listen. The first question I'm going to ask, and then we're going to go into players, okay?
Okay.
And I'll just lead this thing off.
Okay.
How do you guys build your board? Because context is important. For example, how I build mine, just based on film. I don't care what nobody else is saying. I don't care if you hurt Jamal McCoy's knee. Chris Bell from Louisville. I'm not accounting for his knee. I'm just going based on the film. One day his knee will feel better. And if he goes out to be a fantastic player like I think he will, in 3 years I get to come back to this board and be like, oh yeah, Chris Bell, I had a second round grade on him because he's fantastic regardless of the knee. So I'm only film guy. But I know some people base their board, some people account for injuries. Some people account for, I'm building it as if I'm the Cowboys, right? I'm just some ambiguous team with a bunch of picks. I'm the Dolphins this year, basically, right? My whole team is trash, and I'm building this ambiguous board for the Dolphins. Iisha, same, or do you do anything different?
So shout out to Matt Owen for helping out with those of us who struggle. I'm going to be honest with you. I know a lot of people in the draft community are going to say that building your board is one of the most fun things, and there might be some people who enjoy it, but it can be stressful. It can be, you really have to trust yourself, and I am one of those people that struggles with my board sometimes. So I do handle it the same way that you do as well, Voch, is you put the guy where you believe he's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. If he slides, then that is what it is. But you can't really go off of all the conversation, the rumors and stuff like that. I stay true to my board. And what I also do is go, obviously, by round. And I just tell myself, is this person better than this person? Do I remember? And if I need to, I go refer to my notes. But I'm I've gotten a lot better at just being more sure. I was just telling Wooly, no one likes the on-the-fence scout. And Bryan has always taught us that, is to not be wishy-washy. So the way that I handle it to mediate it is my first mind is what I go with. Mm-hmm. And if I have to check, then I will go verify my notes. And that's how I do it. Trust your freaking eyes, y'all.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I try and just stay true to my convictions, and usually your gut feeling on a player is probably what's going to be right. I do factor in the injury, though. I mean, that's something that because I don't know if a player, I think availability is super important. So if a guy's got a lengthy track record of injuries, that is going to factor kind of where I slot him. Yeah. But I am film-based as well. I mean, it's tape over everything. So there's a lot of information that we're not going to be privy to, whether it's off the field stuff, character. There might be some things, they were poor interviews, right? We don't get that. We don't get to sit down and interview with those players. So teams might have some guys higher, lower based on that information. But to me, it's all about the tape. But injury would probably be the one big difference between you and I, Voch. I do have that factored in.
Fair enough.
What's you, Bryan?
Yeah, I just appreciate the fact, from doing this in the past, but now doing the media scout stuff, I really like what Zach just told you there. There's some things that we don't have information or privy to, character stuff, medical stuff. It all kinds of comes out late. I really do rely on the tape a lot. I like what Iisha was talking about. Hey, do I feel like this guy could play better than this guy? And then when you start to stack them, though, that's a little bit different when you have to maybe go back to your notes and kind of figure out, okay, I would take this guy over this guy. That's what the stack is really all about. It is about, who would you take? And I always tell everybody, please don't window dress your board. Don't, trust your eyes. What you see usually is the right feeling. I mean, it's so nice to hear these guys talk about it that way, because it is that way in the war room. When you actually sit there, there's scouts that have different opinions, and this is what I really appreciate about working with Iisha, Zach, and Voch, is that they make me think about players. When we start to break players down, and I'm like, man, I'm a little bit questionable about this guy. maybe, hey, somebody remind you, go back and look at your notes. Go back and look at some tape. But that's the way you got to think about building your board. You got to think about it. Where would I take these players? What round would I take these players? And how do you stack them? You're not always going to be right. Teams aren't always right about this. But if you're doing the work and you're putting them in the order and you're not window dressing your board, you're going to be more successful more times than not.
So just scouring you guys' board, I saw some interesting things.
Oh my God. He about to make a scene.
We're not fighting. And I am going to start with Iisha. We're not fighting.
Don't start with me.
Offensive tackle Blake Miller.
What about him?
I feel like I've been watching him for like 8 years now. Veteran at Clemson's, played a ton of games, great athlete. Didn't see a whole bunch of power with him. You know what I'm saying? Probably do all the outside zone type stuff. I'm seeing he's getting first round mocked. I'm seeing some teams kind of loving him in the first round there. I have him 87th on my board. Zach has him 73. He's not in Bryan's 100 at all, so I'm definitely coming to Bryan next. Iisha has him 28. Zach, stop. Iisha. So
Iisha, what the hell?
Iisha, so listen. Iisha. So listen. We just talk. We just.
No,
so look.
sure.
So draft sibling, draft sister Iisha Morrison. You got Blake Miller, 28 on your board. When you was watching the film, you was putting him over players that you just thought he was just better than. Why did he land at 28 for you?
I'm about to go look at my guys and how they're stacked.
No, you better.
Because I don't think I bet to have him better than Caden Proctor either
good.
one. However, I do think as we talk about this class, and it's probably just a mistake on my part, but as we talk about this class, this tackle class is so up and down. Y'all, unfortunately, you are going to see some stuff like that.
Yes.
I don't think that a lot of the tackles that are in the first round, and you will see in my top, you saw in my top, that's probably why I was so weird too. Like you saw in my top 100, a lot of those tackles are not early in the first round. Sure. Like there's a couple of guys, but the rest of those gentlemen, I was not, with this tackle class, I was not okay with making their value more than what it really is just because this class is not a strong class. Yeah. Now with that, it might have been an error on my part.
It's all good. Hey, man, look, you was up late. You was up late.
I was, and in the wee hours of the morning. But that didn't make sense to you.
I'll say this, though. There's a lot of people that a lot of scouts and a lot of NFL teams that feel the same way Iisha Morrison does.
They wrong, though, Brent. But why do you have out of your top one?
Okay, I have him at 137, and I'm very adamant about this. I struggle with the tackle that has no power. I struggle with that, and I'm wrong. David Bakhtiari, Colton Miller, Nate Soldor. I could go through, I'm 62 years old. I could go through the history. When Iisha had him where she had him, I'm the one immediately thinking I'm wrong. I'm immediately the one going. And then I hear what you guys had him as well. But there are teams. I talked to a team last night. I was on a podcast last night with Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers have a pick. They're thinking about where do you have Miller? And I told them, and they're like, man, that seems a little low. So I'm the one. Don't be surprised by hers. Be surprised by mine. Player 137. Think of play, and that's pretty deep. That's pretty deep for somebody that is talked about potentially in the first round. I can't sit there with good conscience. I'm watching him play, and I'm starting to compare him. Like there's some tackles we have that do have power, that do have athletic ability, and I'm kind of thinking, I like these guys a little better. I feel like I buried this kid, but you know what? Again, it's when it's all said and done that it's going to be, well, here's another one, Bryan, just throw them on the pile of these guys. I admit it. I have a blind spot for these guys. But teams, I think, are agreeing with, maybe where Voch, you guys have them, maybe a little deep. Yeah. But teams are agreeing with her more than me for sure. I'm the outlier here. I'm the big outlier here.
So, Zach, me and you kind of see him the same way. Basically, I don't love him, but with the athletic traits, you can see how it could work somewhere, basically.
Absolutely. Like, I think that there's times in pass protection.
San Francisco will love him.
Look, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he looks really good. I just think the technique is not consistent. Sure. He looks lost when he has to get out in space sometimes. He can get a little bit top-heavy. He has started a lot of games, and he's never missed time due to injury. And I thought, Bryan, maybe the wrestling background would save him, because I know we love our wrestlers, right, when it comes to the offensive line. But I think that the traits, the skill set, the size, I mean, he is a massive humanity, super wide, difficult to get around. I just don't love him as a space player, even though he is a really good athlete. And I just think he needs to refine his technique. If he gets to a team and their offensive line coach, I mean, like Philadelphia with Jeff Stoutland, he might have been able to really tap into his potential. I think depending on who takes him is really going to determine how well does he succeed.
If Philly take Blake Miller, I'm throwing a little party. I'm just saying.
Well, the thing about with him real quick is you see the technique.
Yeah.
You see him like swatting, like edges are trying to get their hands on him, and he's swatting hands down to reset his hands. He's played a lot of snaps. I mean, he is one of these guys that you look at Clemson. Voch is right. You feel like he's been playing 8 years for the Clemson Tigers. Again, the lack of power. Athletic ability for me is fine. Yeah. Lack of power is a struggle.
Now, there's been a bunch of news lately. Voch ain't new to this. I'm true to this. You know what I'm saying? I don't nothing change on my board. It's been a bunch of news lately, but boy, we see these highlight tapes of Jordyn Tyson coming out, boy. Man, we see these little workout videos on the Instagram. He jumping real high up in the air. You know what I mean? I just think based on the film, fantastic route runner. That boy explosive. He can get downfield, yak guy, all that good stuff. Take short passes long. I think he's a bona fide dude. I thought, fantastic receiver. I thought we would all kind of, you know what I'm saying? Voch got him at 8 overall. He's top 10 player on my board, you know what I mean? Bryan got him at 10. Damn. Sister Iisha got him at 11. Boy, we just all simpatico on old Jordyn Tyson, man. Phenomenal film.
Wait, what's happening?
For some reason, I know we just kind of...
He just want to call people out today.
Zach, I'm going to call me out too because I'm different than y'all on some of these players. I'm fair. Zach, how the hell Jordyn Tyson get to 33 on your board?
My God. Injuries. He just told you why.
Because you do account for injuries.
Yeah.
That's why, you know what, Zach, real fast. That's why I asked, put me on one. That's why I asked everybody before we get started, how do you build your board?
Yep.
I was ready to attack you. Yep. That's fair. If you account for injury, knock yourself out, player. So I'm not finna attack you, Zach. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what it is. And hey, welcome. And I think that's probably my most controversial ranking.
But I might get on your ad, though, boy. 33 for Jordyn Tyson's nice, but please.
Hey, if you can guarantee me this guy's going to be available, I see it. The tape is really good. He could end up to be Justin Jefferson, excuse me. Yeah. I do think the further away from the line is, I love him short to intermediate. I question a little bit about his ability to win downfield against certain corners of the next level, but the route running's tremendous, really good blocker. Some of the toughness questions that were coming out about him, I don't see that at all. Yeah. I think this dude's really tough and super competitive.
Yeah, because he's like kind of lanky and stuff, so people don't know if he's...
The problem is you're dealing with an ACL, an MCL, and a PCL injury at Colorado. You have a collarbone injury at Arizona State. You just had hamstring injuries in both legs at Arizona State. Availability is huge. And if I'm taking a player in the first round, some of that is minimizing the risk. And when I watched him, there was something that was screaming in my gut, stay away. And in the second round, I would be totally thrilled to get a player of that caliber. If I was drafting at the back half of the first round, hey, it's worth it. As a top 10 pick, I don't think there's enough separation between him and Mekhi Lemon from USC and Cardell Tate from Ohio State. I'd rather take the guy that, to me, doesn't have as many of the red flag injury concerns. So that's why I dropped Jordyn Tyson.
Aisha, he was 11 for you. You like him a lot?
Yeah, he's where he needs to be. One of the things that stood out to me that I loved about him on tape is that I think is going to serve him as he gets better at, working the third part of the field is the fact that he really works back to the ball well. Yeah. This is a guy that's going to be fantastic in scramble drill, strong hands at the catch point. I do think that he tracks the ball well, but I do understand what you're saying, Wooly, is that you want to see a little bit more down there. And I think that is also why people have questioned the durability and some of that stuff because of his build and the fact that he's not a guy that's doing a whole bunch downfield. I love how he fits into zone windows.
For sure.
I think that he's very intelligent. I think that he understands the position. Now, I do have a question for y'all, though. How is this player okay? Like, not you, because you clearly got feelings. But from a scout's perspective, that list is insane. Like, that list of injuries.
Yeah.
How is this guy not the same red flag as a not fighting, because we already know more information has come out, Jamar McCoy?
Yeah.
Well,
how can you justify the two? Or is it because his offense is...
I think if you break your collarbone, I don't think it just keep breaking. You know what I'm saying? I think it gets
but
better.
What about this?
Unless you're Tony Romo.
Yeah, I think
MCL, ACL.
I saw what happened
all the L's.
I saw what happened to his CLs, and that dude was kind of diving at his leg. It ain't like he was running and his CL just popped.
And he did come back and played really well.
And he came back and played well.
CLs.
He did, but
Yeah. His CLs all
I'm taking that now. I love
we can't laugh at the CLs, y'all.
CDLs, he drives
But it's
trucks
the
and
hammies,
everything.
man. The soft tissue stuff. Like if he only plays 10 to 12 games a year,
Can't be a problem.
I'm going to be kicking myself.
So I'm just asking. I wanted to ask you guys. I want to ask you, Bryan. Is it because of the impact? Is it because of what he can do that you are willing to say F it as opposed to maybe a defensive player or maybe another guy?
I think so. Vachi, tell me the player. I'm interested in what you hear.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
I'm interested in what you hear because I don't think you get an opportunity on this.
A comp on the player?
No, just tell me about the player.
Yeah,
What you think about the
Jordyn
player?
Tyson.
Jordyn Tyson?
Yeah.
I love him as a route runner. I think he's the best route runner in the class. Some people like their routes to just be, oh, he's a great route runner because he's precise. I want to see you set corners up. I want to see you lean one way and fire in the other direction. I want you to run a slant 5 or so different ways. That's what he was good at. He was good at doing that in Colorado as well. You know what I'm saying? So his old film says that. So he's been a route runner his whole life. I am partial to route runners and yak guys. Get them the ball short, let them fly. I love that kind of shit. Short to intermediate, I love the intermediate digs and crossers and posts and all that kind of stuff. If you can whoop a team ass with just that, then you have a spot for me already on top of you being able to beat one-on-one coverage by yourself or being able to manage zones by yourself. You know what I'm saying? I saw a quarterback-friendly player. Quarterback, he didn't wave if he wasn't open. Some wide receivers will wave when they covered the hell up. He shows his numbers, throws his hand, hey, now, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that he was just a safe player that can work with any quarterback. How I rank, wide receivers, if you're a wide receiver, we'll say like Denzel Boston or something, right? I think Denzel Boston is great, but I think he'll be better with a quarterback that places the ball really well because of his ability to go up and leap. I think Jordyn Tyson great with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because he can run routes and get himself open. So that's what I like about the play.
Yeah, there's a couple things. I think that's a great. I think you guys nailed him on that.
Appreciate you.
And I understand what Wolchuk's talking about with the injuries. That's all legitimate stuff. I think this guy reminded me of George Pickens when I watched him play. I mean, this was a guy that goes and gets the football. This is a guy run after catch. This is a guy that goes down the field. He can make plays. He can make the tough plays. He can make the tough adjusting catches. I think that listen, I was sitting there thinking, if you don't want George Pickens on your team, take this guy. I think this is why we're starting to hear some things. Again, now the Dallas Cowboy hat comes on, and I'll tell you, I know we're kind of a one-stop shop for everything NFL here with the draft. But the Cowboys are talking about this guy if the defensive players are off the board. They're talking about this guy at 12, and I think that there's some reasons why they're talking about this guy because what everybody said about this player. I think that he is a tremendous player. I like him better than what we have with Tate and Lemon as well. I would stack him above. That's why I have him as my 10th player.
Yeah, he's more of a like Voch said. That's a wide receiver. Yeah. Does that make sense? That's a wide receiver. I thought you made a really great point about him setting up DBs.
Yeah.
You can see the deceptiveness and the head fakes and stuff like that as you watch him as the game goes on. He's reading.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good point to bring up.
The reason why I say that, because I got into this we wasn't fighting. But somebody felt like Carnell Tate was a better route runner than him.
No.
And I think what they're saying is Carnell Tate doesn't really round his routes off. Carnell Tate runs with precision. When I think about route runners, I think about you mechanically breaking down a route.
I think Concepcion might be a better
For sure.
route runner than
no
a
question.
Carnell Tate.
Yeah. I got a long list of people that's better than Carnell
I think
Tate.
Mekhi Lemon's the best personally in the draft.
You know what I'm saying? Like
He's nice too. He's nice too.
With you with Jordyn Tyson.
I would argue even that.
Sure.
From that standpoint.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna put myself on the hot seat a little bit.
All right, what
All
do
right,
you got?
well,
I've been kind of fussing at y'all. Y'all like this player not much more than me. One of y'all like him much more than me, but y'all like him a little more. I like him the least. Caleb Banks, the tackle from Florida.
Yeah.
Phenomenal player, relatively.
Bye.
Incredible player in highlight tapes. If you watch a Caleb Banks highlight tape, he going to the Pro Bowl right now in college. You feel me? I just didn't think he was a good defensive tackle. He's an incredible athlete, great size, moves really well for how big he is, length, height, weight, all that kind of stuff, right? And he does show flashes of when he puts hands on people, they explode. Shouts out to Caleb Banks. I have him 83 just on my personal board. Bryan has him 57. Zach is close to Bryan having him at 62. Iisha love him at 40, but that's y'all business. I got him at 83. I'm much lower on him because I prefer my tackles to know how to do defensive tackle things. If you're going to be a defensive tackle for me, and Caleb Banks 320, 330 or something like that,
325.
he's going to be a one tech. Yeah. I need you to be able to know how to deal with double teams multiple ways. I need you to know how to anchor. I need you to know if somebody's down blocking you, cross face. I thought Caleb Banks, first of all, pad level was a bit high, and he's 6 tall as hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I need him to bend his knees a little bit. I didn't think he knew what to do with his hands. I thought he knew how to reactively punch somebody, and you'll see that happen every now and then. You go, hey, there's a great rep from Caleb Banks. But for the most part, he's throwing his shoulder into people. He's giving his chest to people. I think if you give your chest to Tyler Booker, he's going to grab you and you're going to stop moving.
Yep.
I thought there was some pass rush upside to Caleb Banks, but he's run down the middle of people, right? So with coaching, here's another thing for me. Just me as draft guy. I'm floor guy. I'm not ceiling guy. Some people look at the ceiling of a player and they'll give them a boost in analysis. I'm not quite that guy. I want to know if you can do all the D-line stuff right now. I want to know if you know how to take doubles, how to deal with blocks, how to not get caught up in the wrestling match of dealing with an offensive lineman and find the running back in the backfield. It was many times Caleb Banks was just wrestling with somebody and the running back just went right by him. He wasn't even looking.
No question.
So with him lacking nuanced D-line stuff, I put Caleb Banks at 83 on my board. I like him the least out of everybody else. Zach, what you think about?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I mean, he's not a bendy kind of guy.
Yeah.
He is top heavy. He's very, very stiff and can play high. The leverage is an issue. He's one of these guys to me that if he's a first rounder, it's because you fell in love with the traits and the coach is like, get that guy to me. I can mold this ball of clay and turn him into an elite player, which maybe he can be because I think he showcases a strong motor. I like if he's not able to get to the quarterback, he'll put up those long arms. It's like throwing through trees and he'll be able to interrupt and disrespect the passing game there. But to me, like Florida kind of was moving him around a lot. They probably should just stuck him at 3 tech. I don't think he's a guy at 1 tech. He struggles against double teams big time. He is not a guy that's going to win with a lot of power. He's got the arm over, the speed, the explosiveness. He's going to have to win.
That's where I think he does win. I think the power part of it is what makes him interesting.
Okay.
He does sometimes. Yeah,
you'll see him push the pocket. It's just not consistent. It's bothered me.
I think the biggest problem we're all talking about is he plays too tall.
Yeah.
But I think there's times where he does play with his hands. You can see him throw guys aside. You can see him like come off the football. I didn't see him give up on plays.
No.
You know, the ball would go and he's like, sometimes these big guys, their movement isn't, they kind of quit. It's a hot day in Gainesville. They're not really in their long drive. This guy was continuing to kind of play. I thought the one thing that he was really good at was the power.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, he is powerful.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes if you don't use your hands the right way, it don't matter.
But you were talking about the coaching aspect of it.
And that's something that I thought, well, as you talk about the consistency and stuff like that, Voch, one of the things that I thought was a gift and something that he doesn't do well is body control. Is that
he got knocked around a little bit.
There's times you will see him that he feels like he has supreme control over his body. Obviously, has I think he does have a strong lower and upper half. I don't see compensation from him when it comes to, his anchor. But I do agree. I think as you talk about the technique, his hands are, I think, with some refining, could be very heavy. And I looked at him as somebody's going to put him at a 3. Somebody's going to put him at 3 tech. There's no way that they keep him at 1.
Yeah, I think that's his best spot.
And that's another thing, too, is like as you're talking about what you envision him to do and what you want a guy that size to do, that is not, that's...
He's got like 5 technique length. He's got that, if Dallas, and listen, you're starting to hear about Dallas and why they like Falk. Not as an edge rusher. They like him as a 4-eye.
Big end guy.
Yeah, like could this guy be playing? Could he play with, when you got Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, and this guy?
At 325 pounds, it'll be hysterical, but he would fit that better than being like a 1 tech or something, for sure.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be fit with him, but I see promise in his hands and also too, as he gains more bodily control, I think his initial get off and stuff, and as he times it, is going to get a lot better for him. But it's a powerful. I thought he was very powerful. I know that it's not consistent from what you're seeing, but that doesn't mean that he's not powerful. That could mean what Wolchuk was just talking about, leverage.
Yeah.
It could be balance. It could be like.
You said he wasn't powerful?
His biggest problem is being tall.
That's to me, that's one of his best traits is how heavy his hands are,
he's very
how powerful he is.
Sure.
And that power, like he needs to harness the control of it, but like you don't see raw power like that.
There's real quick, Voch, if I could. The foot is a problem.
Well, that's another thing too. I thought
that's a problem. And now what you're talking about, Wolchuk brings up about the injury stuff.
He would have been lower to me.
Yeah.
But I'd put him in there as a guy that is coming up. First of all, Clemson, everybody had a down year. Everybody looked rusty and dusty.
Yeah.
Considering that, the foot.
Yeah, Florida didn't play great.
Well, Florida
No,
didn't either.
and I don't think they used him particularly well.
They did. I know. Well, I don't know. They had a lot going on.
They got, and yeah, I mean they did.
Florida had a lot going on.
And I mean to me, that's why I think 3-tech's his best spot. Like if he had to just stayed there, that's where you see the splash plays from him. But him getting moved for how big he is, and you do see him bull rush and push the pocket, and it's not like he is not a powerful player.
Yeah.
But for how big he is. To me, it was like, oh, how are you getting moved so easily here?
Sure.
So
Because he can get redirected.
So who's your two? Who's your two defensive tackle?
My second defense tackle?
Yeah, who is it?
At nose, I got Lee Hunter as my second guy, and I got Caden McDonald as my number one guy.
Tracking that.
At nose, and then I got my 3-tech side, but right there, that's how I got it. Brian's heard me talk about this a bunch. We haven't talked as much as well. I'm over giving guys the benefit of the doubt that they'll get better, and they've played at big schools for a long time.
I'm screaming.
You know
That's fair.
Like, bro, you've been
That's
at Florida
fair.
for a long time. You still ain't learned how to bend your knees. I can't just assume you're gonna come to the.
That's his biggest problem in my eyes.
Yeah.
Is the knee bent. If somebody gets him to play with his knees bent, he'll be a much better football player.
I got some more good stuff. Let's do this. Something I found was fascinating. We ain't fighting. This is just something that I thought was just interesting here. All of us had running back 2 in the same range. Okay. Brian had his at 56. I had mine at 40. Iisha had hers at 47. And Zach had his at 51. So we all had running back 2 in the same range. Voch and Brian had Emmett Johnson from Nebraska as running back 2. Iisha and Zach had Jadarian Price from Notre Dame as running back 2. Brian, kick it off with you. We all just talking. Nobody's on the hot seat right now. This is just interesting. Brian, why did you have Emmett Johnson over Price from Notre Dame?
I just felt like, to me, Price, you could watch him split time, and you're thinking, could this guy be a number 1? Probably could. The thing I liked about Johnson, I liked how they just kept handing him the ball, and it was downhill, physical. Finishing, running through guys, and you're kind of thinking, well, gosh, Broaddus, you look at Nebraska, look at the numbers, ton of carries, this, that, and the other. I'm like, fine. That's what I want my running back to be able to do. I want my running back to, you hand him the football. I want him to run over people. I want him to hit the hole. I want him to catch the football. Yeah, do I want him to be a little bit better pass blocker? Yeah, that's why guys like Coleman, you might have Coleman from Washington a little bit higher because you do see the pass block there. But, man, I just love the way they handed this guy the football, and he was attacking you the whole time. And I was thinking, well, with Price, why is he splitting time? Is he just having to be at Notre Dame? You got one of the best players in the country as the back. Maybe that's why he doesn't get enough playing time.
Sure.
I just felt like Johnson. I like those guys. Either give me the Bijan Robinson that's making everybody miss, or give me the downhill guy that's just punishing people.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think it's your ice cream conversation, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as you look at a Jadarian Price, he fits what Voch was just talking about. He's a yak guy. He's a guy that has impeccable vision.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He has,
Got Johnson over him though.
He has the ability, and that's fair. But I do think it's as you look at what offenses are right now. It depends. Like, we got to see Seattle, do all this. We see some guys be able to punish people in the run game. And it's kind of what you're saying, Brian. Sounds like you want a guy that's going to wear on guys. That's really gonna take it to, is going to be physical. That's going to alter how you have to prepare in that way. But then also, too, there might be a team that looks like a Jadarian Price. That's why I think he's great, is the fact that he fits into what the offense, what I think offenses are right now, which is the matchup game.
Yeah.
Putting my running back in advantageous situations against defenders that I know are not fast enough to keep up with him. And to your point about the downhillness, about the other gentleman, downhillness, I think Jadarian Price is a decisive runner, though.
No, he is.
He can put his foot in the ground.
You could watch the Texas A&M game this year. And he made some guys quit at Texas A&M trying to tackle
he'll make
him.
you quit. And also, too, he's an offensive lineman's dream because you only need a little bit of space.
Give him a sliver.
Yeah.
He only needs a little bit of space to get going. I mean, I don't know. I just think his change of direction and stuff was just, it's explosive. It fits into what this NFL, I think, wants. Obviously, the pass protection can improve. I think he has return ability. I mean, dog, like, I like this player, and I thought I was sure about him being my number 2 running back from the beginning, and I think he's going to continue to be.
Zone schemes, man. I could see Price being a zone scheme guy.
Yeah.
Talking about the patience and stuff that they play with.
I mean, I do think the big difference, Johnston, in terms of being a well-rounded 3-down back,
Facts.
you don't see Price involved in the passing game at all. That was a huge issue. That was all Jeremiah.
That might be a Notre Dame thing,
Maybe.
though, too.
Probably.
Maybe. And so that's
I don't
something.
know, man. They was throwing that joint to Love, though.
Yeah, Love got all that action.
It was
And then
all
pass
Trying
protection.
to throw the kid a bone here, maybe.
Pass
Nah,
protection.
man, nah.
No,
But the special
But we
teams
see
element.
that. But we see that though. We saw that. Where was Tony Pollard? 3rd on his depth chart
Yeah.
in Tennessee. He just had guys that were better than him.
I think
but
that's
he
a
still had a
benefit.
really good. It could be beneficial, especially as we talk about the running back position. That everybody's so worried about the tread on the tires. Baby,
And Emma
if you've been
Johnson-
to discount tire, you good?
Boy, they ran him a lot. Yeah, Price, you're talking about a backup that was just a big play waiting to happen. I mean, he's a guy that's constantly getting to the second level. I love the contact balance. He's always falling forward. I just think he's ready to shine as a lead back at the NFL level.
So would you trust him? So the question is, and I'm gonna ask you guys, if you're projecting him and you're looking at him, are you trying to put him as if he's going this early, right? Like at 47 for me, if he's going that early, you expect for him to be the number 1?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You expect him to be the number 1.
That's the way I would think about Johnson.
Okay.
That's why I put Johnson where I put him.
Okay, because I think that does.
I think we've all got that. I think we've all got these backs.
Yeah, we all right there. We all right there.
We all do, but I just was wondering, like,
Yeah. No.
I just think
are
Johnson
you looking
is
at him more as a guy
I would
to
hate to
be in the
draft a
room?
player at 50 whatever
Sure.
and him not play, especially at running back.
Yeah.
I edged Johnson because I thought he was a better blocker, and I saw him catch the ball more. I didn't see Price catch it
that's
more.
totally fair.
Yeah, he didn't.
But right there, right there in my second round running backs, they right there. They right there. Man, I just see this news coming. I'm about to get back on Iisha. Boy, I see just more news coming out, man. It's something we've been talking about for a long time, man.
What you about to get on me for?
Nothing. We just talk.
Oh, nothing.
Man, the Cowboys sure do love Colton Hood, man. Boy, he's damn. Jeremiah was talking about taking him at 12 or something. I was like, hell yeah, boy. One of us wouldn't like that. But they was talking about taking him at 12 or whatever. We see later Peter Schrager say, hey, it can happen, man. They like Colton Hood, cornerback from Tennessee. Press man killer.
Yep.
Length. He be pinning people cheering to the sideline. You know what I'm saying? Physical tackler. Got his hands on the football. Tennessee and Colorado, boy. Hey, man. Colton Hood go crazy, man. Zach had him as his 16th guy. Voch got him at 20. Bryan got him at 13. Sister girl Iisha Morrison there got him at 42.
I don't know why y'all looking at me crazy. Like, that's gonna make me change my mind.
Oh, you ain't got to change your mind. I just want to hear why you got him at 42. I just
Yeah,
curious.
why do you hate Colton Hood, Iisha?
I don't hate Colton Hood. I think partially people are right now, obviously, like his story is important and people are getting attached to that, and we see that every draft and blah 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 blah.
I don't even know his story.
I think whatever. I think he's a fantastic player. I'm getting to my notes. My iPad decided to die.
You apologize.
I think he's a fantastic player. I mean, 4 games at Auburn, 13 games at Colorado, 12 games at
Tennessee.
Tennessee, yes, that's my handwriting. Very productive, very productive player. I think my biggest thing with him was the fact that I know he can handle press, but is this a lockdown corner? I don't think this is a lockdown corner. I don't see a lockdown corner. I see someone that can press, that will come up and press, that gets his hands on you in the jam. He's not afraid to be physical. Ooh. But are you saying, are you going to put him on an island? That's what you're trusting him with?
I don't think we have as many lockdown corners in this world as we think we do.
Well, and that's
in
why
the league, it may be like 4.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think he's a fantastic corner.
I think he's a fantastic
corner. And, where do you take, where do you take a fantastic corner?
I don't think that I didn't think his functional strength was great throughout the game. I know you guys are talking about him being a strong tackler, sure, but what is he going to be? He's going to be asked. Some people are looking at him as a nickel, too. That's why a lot of people have him so high.
Punching the shit out them chairs.
Sure.
Sure. And redirecting like a mug, boy. I thought he was, I'm sorry.
Sure. Sure. I think his length and strength matches. He's very disciplined. He can be a powerful tackler, like you said. I did not see a guy that I thought was, especially after I looked at Chris Johnson for a second time.
Oh, thank
I put Chris Johnson ahead of him.
Damn right
because
you did,
I
Iisha.
feel like the feel that Colton Hood is going to do what he's told. He's going to do it well. I think that corner, a lot of it is feel, and he has it. But even with his physicality, some of that stuff he does, he ain't gonna get away with. Just like old dude DeJean, he's a lot like DeJean coming out, and some of that extra physicality that you talking about, you love so much, he's not gonna be able to get away with some of that stuff.
That's all pro though. Cooper.
I mean, it's cute. It's cute, but I do think when you start talking about technique, I think some of the technique is getting lost in the physicality.
Yeah,
and that's me.
Yeah.
No, I think that's fair. I think that he actually
Maybe a little handsy.
He can get absolutely because he's physical, and I think that's one of his superpowers, right? It's just how physical he plays. But I do think he is a little bit stiffer in his movement in the hips than in terms of being able to run. You know, I think he's a really good athlete overall.
Stiff hips, you say?
Yeah, I think he was a little bit stiffer in the hips compared to other corners. That's why I don't think he's moving inside. I'm not playing him in the slot. Like, I think Chris Johnson projects better in terms of the twitchy aspect of it to kick inside. I think Colton Hood is a true outside corner. I love him there.
When you mention slot stuff, is this because we're in Cowboy land right now, or are you just saying like in general?
I'm saying in general. I think that people are projecting him to be a nickel.
I think that's crazy.
Yeah,
because
I don't like it.
Because of all the stuff y'all talking about, though. Listen to what you're saying. Oh, he can press.
Yeah.
He's physical. He can come up and tackle.
And pinch her into the sideline. I want him.
Blase. That sounds like a McNichol. That don't sound like.
Well,
that sound like a what? Hold on. That sound like a what?
A McNichol.
You was just gonna walk right past that, Zach.
McNichol.
It sounds like a McNichol.
That's tough. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, I just think that you're right in terms of play temperament. Physically, you need to be able to come up and play the run, which he does maybe better than any other corner in the draft, in my opinion. But he is a boundary player.
Yeah.
Like, I think everything you said about him using the sideline to his advantage, that helps him a lot. I think if he now is going to have to cover a lot of ground and space over the middle, that's when you're going to get to see some separation that is caused there. He's not going to be able to be as sticky in that short area quickness. I think he's really good being able to use his size, the physical traits that he's got, and his athleticism to be able to work on the perimeter.
Yeah, I just wouldn't even ask to put him in there.
I don't stiff, though. That's crazy. I don't agree.
I don't think he's stiff either.
I think he's fluid,
I think there's an element. I will say the thing that bothers me though about this player, and I'm the guy that has him at 13.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of digs in the way he plays, and I mean this is loose, like it's kind of a little bit of a floating player. That he's got that boundary side, and you'll see him
coverage wise.
Like he'll. I mean, when it's lock in, it's lock in.
Facts.
But when you watch him play, there's that kind of that. Who's he covering here? Is that his guy or is that not his guy? I think when he locks in, this guy is a damn good player. I don't think I would put him inside at nickel. I think this is an outside player all the way. But I do love with the way he plays man coverage. I do think he's a hard guy to run away when he gets his hands on you. He could be a little grabby. That's something that they're definitely going to have to think about. But like I said, to play him inside, I don't think I would do that, though. I do like the size. I do like the physicality. I think his ability to stay in phase with the receiver as they're running routes, I think is really good. But when you play him off in zone, I think that's when he gets a little bit loose with his technique.
I'm going to try to get 3 players in 10 minutes because this is fantastic conversation. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. This is more of I'm just going to ask everybody. When we're putting our boards together, we can watch a player, and you can really put 2 names together. I'm gonna put 2 names right here. When we're watching a player and we stacking them, we may love them. How do you account for competition there against? So if we're looking at Charles Demings, right? Cornerback.
Stephen F. Austin, yeah.
Stephen F. Austin. Or we're looking at Ted Hurst, the wide receiver from Georgia State. Ted Hurst, I got him down here. Zach has him at 76. Iisha has him at 71. Me and Bryan didn't have him ranked in the top 100, and we're not fighting about that. But how difficult was it for you guys to love I think we all love the players, both of them. How difficult is it to love the player but be cautious about them whooping up on dudes that's not going to play in the league? Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, it is tough. Like, it's something that, I haven't put it in my notes. Like, he's not getting tested. Yeah. The thing is, are you dominating and then do have kind of the all-around game that I do think can translate. Like I think Chris Johnson, there's some of that too, playing against some of the competition that he had. To me, I just think he's such a darn good player, and you don't see him really losing a lot of reps. Same thing with Ted Hurst. Like this dude's just a playmaker down the field. I love the size. I think he can play the X. He's like that throwback X receiver.
He's nice.
And to me, like I even put down like a little bit of Des Bryant in terms of his ability to go attack the football in the air, to high point it after the catch. I love the way he can come back to it. He's just a really good player that has natural hands, reliable target. So I think all of that stuff, it's kind of like Ryan Flanoy was a player that I liked coming out. He ends up going in the 6th round. I think Ted Hurst is going to be a day 2 guy, but it is like, hey, if you're watching against App State and Vanderbilt, you try and find some of that better competition.
Yes.
And he's, he's killing it there at Georgia State versus lower competition, but is he also doing it against Vandy? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, I think it's also important. This is where Senior Bowl, all that stuff comes into play as well. How do those gentlemen perform there? And we know that Ted Hurst let his presence be known there. I told you guys, like as I went back and watched him, because you gentlemen have been talking about him through the process, I felt ashamed. I felt ashamed that I hadn't put enough time into watching this player. And when you talk about the competition part of it, Voch, I think also too, we literally just talked about, like, there's maybe 3 guys in the top 10 that are projections. Why do you just stop projecting there? Like, you're going to start looking at what is he capable of doing? What does the film translate as? And again, I think what he brings is not unique now, but it kind of is becoming unique. The X.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
That size.
But he's also, to me, I think he has some suddenness. I think
for sure.
I think he has some good deceleration skills and being able to be elusive after the catch, like Voch was talking about. I saw a lot of pick to his game. I saw a guy that can do what Voch was talking about, is work the intermediate and is able to get skinny and get up the field. But he also has some burst to where he can win and press man. I understand what you're saying, like, about the competition, and I think that it does matter. But what do they do when they get up against the best?
Yeah.
We saw this guy route guys up during the Senior Bowl.
Yep.
Still be physical, be able to fight through contact. Very much so. We got to see what translates too, right?
Yeah, I'm going to take a shot at Demings here with Stephen F. Austin.
Oh yeah, I would love to hear him.
Yeah, this guy's 6'1", 191 pounds, and yeah, it's a little different playing in the Southland Conference and going to the NFL and stuff like that. But you watch this guy play, you could see a fluid moving guy. You could see a guy that adjusts in routes. You could see a guy, sure, he's not getting stressed a whole bunch playing the competition that he does, but you do see the athletic ability. You do see, like, okay, if he has to play against guys that are NFL receivers, he is going to be able to play press on them, get his hands, be able to turn, be able to adjust. I really, really like this player a lot. Sometimes these programs make mistakes. This kid should be playing at the University of Houston, should be playing maybe at TCU, should be playing maybe at SMU. It's the same thing with a guy like Bland going to Fresno. There's teams that out west that probably miss this guy. I'm saying teams miss this kid because he has all the traits. He has all the athletic ability, and he has the skill to be able to play. You could, it's going to be a little bit of probably a learning curve, but I wouldn't bet against a guy like this because you see the skill and you see the ability to cover.
And you did see him play elite high-level competition at DATCU in Denton against the University of North Texas, right? So, I mean, there were ballers on the field there for the North Texas Mean Green.
Zach, chill out,
really
man.
high elite football talent there that are now going to be playing in Stillwater in the Big 12. So I'm just saying, hey, Charles Demings, the competition level was very high for him.
They finna be playing the UFL.
But imagine that's
hey, you had one of my corners at 75 in your top 100.
That just makes me think about
Let's go,
what it's
baby.
like to really be a scout. Like, Brian, how many times did you see a guy maybe from like a school that everybody didn't know and you were sure about him?
Oh yeah, Ali
You had to
Marpet.
stand on that.
Oh no, Ali Marpet.
Yeah, you had
Ali
to
Marpet
stand
went to
on
school
that.
at Hobart College. He was second round pick by the Buccaneers. We're watching film and there's bounce houses out in the end zone. You know, kids are having a great old time. Not playing cup football out there, playing in the bounce house. And Allie Marpet's blocking people up.
Wow.
I mean, we've seen this a bunch too, you know, with some of the...
The boys do anything to sell tickets to the football game. They got bounce houses.
Yeah, bounce
and
house.
barbecues.
Yeah, I got bounce house. You see the grill going on.
Ferris
You see
wheels
the
and-
smoke in the air.
Laughing.
Yeah, Allie Marpet, and you know, Platt had a nice little run with the Buccaneers.
Damn.
But yeah, you will find yourself. You will find yourself watching these kids. That's why, again, guys like Drew Fabianich and then what they're doing at the Senior Bowl is huge. To be able to give kids like this opportunity to maybe step up. And I don't think this was a Senior Bowl player here, but this is kind of what that needs to be done more of.
Love it.
I think we got about 5-7 minutes for one more player.
Let's go. Who we got?
Gonna go against the grain.
Give me a
little
good
bit.
one. Give me a good one, baby.
I hate watching quarterbacks for real.
Please, God.
I don't be watching like in my top 100. I don't even put quarterbacks on there. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't.
I like that you don't. It's tough to put them there.
Because I don't believe in quarterback tax. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm just putting Mendoza versus who I think are good players, I don't think he's a better quarterback than this dude's a better hit. So people will put Mendoza up there because of quarterback tax. He's number one quarterback, but he might be the 15th best dude in the. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it was something fascinating. I was just going down y'all's board there. The common sentiments, and it's interesting that Vegas is even reacting to this stuff. It's crazy. You know, this Ty Simpson character. You know, we would love, as Cowboy fans, we live in Cowboy land here. It'll be great to get another quarterback up there in that top 11, or if he goes in the teens and a dude falls us at 20 or something, we all would love that. But it made me look at y'all's board to see where y'all had the quarterback and stuff at. Man, I'm looking at Ty Simpson. I don't put quarterbacks in my stack, but I have them really late. So he'll be anywhere between 90 and 135 for me. That's just where Voch would have him, you know. Bryan has him at 96, so me and him kind of close in that way.
Yeah.
Something I thought was fascinating. Zach put him at 50.
Yeah, I did.
Which is okay.
Just because he's a quarterback.
I put him high.
You could do what you want to do, Zach.
did.
You can fuss at me.
But sister girl,
I dressed it.
hold on, Iisha. Hold
They're
on.
gonna take him that
Hold
high.
on. I don't care where they take him. Actually, how you make your boy. I don't care where they
Dusty.
take him. Sister girl got Ty Simpson at 35.
Cause
You could do what you want to do, but sister girl got him at 35.
I don't think the players.
Hold on.
If I did my board how I felt like completely, half of these tackles would be in the freaking third round.
Yeah.
Stop playing with me.
But you think, sister girl, Ty Simpson is the damn 35th best player.
No,
in the
I
draft.
don't.
But you do, because you put him there.
You think Ty Simpson better than Ted Hurst and Colton Hood?
I literally, it was a courtesy to him
I ain't nice to
because
these
he's
people.
going to get taken.
I'm not nice to these people.
People gonna panic. I'm not nice to any.
I don't do courtesy on my board.
We don't do courtesy. You'll see it with the tackles. I didn't really give that much courtesy.
Look at your phone. You just said you did. You did him a courtesy. I don't give a damn who drafted him.
It's where I think people are gonna take him. Unfortunately,
God bless you. On my board, how I value my guys, he's in the what I got him. I got him in the 4th over here.
then you might as well not talk about. You might as well not talk about quarterback. Let's just not talk about it.
Please, I got Nussmeier and Aller and Beck over Ty Simpson. Beck, I got Beck over Ty Simpson as well because I'm accounting for. Watch this. I'm accounting for 2024 Beck, and I thought that dude had a much bigger arm, much more active downfield,
He was
much
a
more
little bit
aggressive.
more reckless. Yeah, a little bit more aggressive. I guess you could say.
And just how I stack my board, I would rather you be aggressive than like timid as a quarterback. So that's why I got. So I'm accounting for 24 Aller, 24 Nussmeier, 24 Beck. They all are in different situations at 25 than they were at 24. So when I went back and watched that film, I loved those versions of those guys over 25 Ty Simpson. Bryan, why'd you have him so late on your board?
I personally, and to me,
I never would have thought we would be fighting over Ty Simpson. That's crazy.
No,
I'm not fighting.
But please,
I don't
Bryan,
think
go
he's
ahead.
that good
It's a great
either.
backup quarterback draft.
But please,
yeah,
let's be real.
to me, like I just could not. The later you watched him play, and maybe it had something to do with injuries and stuff like that. I'm not trying to make excuses.
hurt.
He played well early in the campaign, and then all of a sudden you started playing some better competition. Southeastern Conference, he plays pretty good competition. I just felt like, to me, I didn't see arm strength. I saw a little bit of mobility. I saw just a little bit of the arm strength. I'm really high on the Penn State kid, Aller, because I feel like that, and maybe this is the old scout in me, the guy with size, the guy could stand on the right hash, the wider hash, and throw it all the way to the outside, and get it there. That's what I saw, the arm talent, the arm strength. I didn't see that with Simpson. I didn't. And listen, I was not particularly right about Mac Jones. You know, in these Alabama quarterbacks, you know, with the exception of Hurts and how he was an athlete and all that, or Tua and
What was the other gentleman last year? What was the other gentleman?
they had the
Milroe.
Milroe. See, that's what I'm saying. They all had problems. But yeah, cannon arm right, and maybe a little bit like our guy at Arkansas that you and I have discussions about.
Just the accuracy.
Yeah, but I just with Simpson, I just could not bring myself to say this is a first round quarterback. I just did not see the physical makeup that made me really, really believe in this guy. Because like I say, the better it got the competition wise, a little bit more of the struggle it was for him. Yeah. And there could be some circumstances again that we're not privy to. Mm-hmm. But I just did not. I didn't want to say. And I was on a Steelers podcast last night, and they were talking about him. I would not hang my hat on him if I was the Steelers at 21.
They like
absolutely not.
They like him.
Yeah. The Steelers.
They like it. Well, that's what I'm saying, and that's what
that's great. I mean,
people aren't gonna care. But
no.
As you talk about the arm strength, Brian, what type of arm strength are we talking about? Are we talking about being able to, throw a quick out?
I just think or
are you talking about the deep ball?
The outs, the stuff intermediate, you could see his arm velocity is average at best.
Okay, that's interesting.
It really is, and I just don't. When I'm watching a guy, I think you're seeing a guy that the read part of it. I think he sees it.
Yeah.
I just don't think when he sees it that he has the ability to
get the ball,
to get it there.
Wow.
Okay. And so I in good conscience, I could not put him. He's fortunate to be in my top 100. The way
I think he's got some good touch. Yeah. I do think that, and that's like, to me, that's where Taylor Green lacked. Yeah. I don't see touch. I think that he's got a much.
I would rather take a chance on Green just because he's an athlete,
super great athlete,
right?
And I especially you're taking a guy in day 3. I mean, maybe you can work with some of the flaws that I think he has in his passing mechanics and decision making. Like, he's a YOLO type of guy. You saw in the Senior Bowl, like, he's going to roll right. I'm going to throw across my body to the middle of the field. Like, that type of crap to me is going to get you killed in the NFL. But Ty Simpson, yeah, I mean, he's got some of those. Decision making can be questionable, and he did look like a totally different player in the second half of the season. I like some of the pocket mobility, his ability to climb, step up, evade the rush.
He's a tough guy,
but yeah, there's definitely issues.
Weird year. We talked about this on our show on the Stack. Is that this is an odd year in the fact that you have to go back to 2024 with a lot of these guys.
Yeah, sure.
That's what Voch was talking about. He's right. He's right about that. Yeah,
especially Nuss.
To justify where you want them, or to justify why you don't want them at a certain point. Now, why? Like, it's interesting. I wonder if there's going to be conversation as why it was such a down year for different guys, different positions all over college football, to where I'm sure as media scouts, I'm sure as, some of the people that are upstairs, they're like having to figure out why was there such a drop off?
I would like to know
some guys.
Yeah, I'd like to. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of these guys that you could we could talk about teams. I know we
got to go over.
Yeah, you talked about like a team like Clemson completely fall apart.
Like TJ Parker.
Yeah, I mean there were teams that LSU had the same. I mean, completely fell apart. So yeah, there's some programs that were kind of lofty that at the end of the day their players didn't live up all to the billing.
Wow.
This was fun. We probably could have did it for another 2 hours or so, but the game gonna be the game. The Stack is a phenomenal podcast. I never get a chance to make guest appearances, but I always feel like if I ever popped up on it, you know what I'm saying, we'll be doing.
But you would cause problems.
Yeah, I'd be starting shit. Yeah, I'd be starting
like
shit. Yeah, and hey man, we'll probably do another one of these after the draft or something and recap it. And
I'm so ready. I'm ready for this draft.
Yeah, I'm ready for it to be over.
I'm gonna be mad.
You gonna be mad when we do what?
Let's go.
Y'all gonna be mad when Ty Simpson go in the second?
No, I'm not. I'm a laugh as long as he don't go to my team.
He might go in the first round. I hope he does.
I'm a laugh. Yeah.
You put a helmet on.
I hope Arizona takes him at 3. I hope we just see some crazy, wacky shit that goes down in the top 10.
Actually look good in a helmet. Like,
Thank
people
you.
might believe that.
Zach is just.
I actually could play.
Yeah.
It's the beard.
I found out in 7th grade football, my ass had no chance to play.
Talk that shit then.
So, the lateral agility was okay. I just didn't have the nasty. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Well,
so that's why I like the big uglies, the Jalen Farmers that are just going to go and kick you in the dirt and let you know about it.
Jalen Farmer.
Jalen Farmer's my guy, but they not.
Rutledge,
But they're not going to draft him where he should, because teams suck at drafting. And the NFL is a strange lady. If y'all want to get that shirt, y'all are running out of time. It is a draft special, and the draft is tomorrow. So by the time we're done with day 3 of the draft, the limited edition run will be over. So y'all go to crownglobalmedia.com, take a look at that. Go get any other kind of merch you want. Put any other kind of logo you want on there. Knock yourself out. All right. Be sure that you watch all the episodes of the Stack. All the episodes are doing all right. Please.
Yeah, make sure you're subscribing to our channel and stuff too. We're over 30,000. Thanks to everybody out there, but keep doing it. We love it.
Knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. We'll be doing impromptu draft stuff. Please, you have something? We'll be doing impromptu draft stuff all week. We ain't really got a schedule for real. We might just pop up and see what happens. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but we will be putting out content throughout this thing. I know we got other places we have to do work at, but we will still hold y'all down here at the Crown Global Media. All right? Iisha Morrison, Zach Wolchuk, Bryan Broaddus. He's Crown Global Media on Twitter, by the way. And I'm Voch Lombardi. We'll catch y'all on the next edition of whichever show we on. All right? Crown.